Alright, we are back. Looks like Standard Sultai Legends is still doing great. What is Standard Sultai Legends? It's just a bunch of really good rares and removal. What did we get from the new set? We have Tival, Arbiter of Virtue, a 6/6 flying lifelink for 5 mana. Not terrible. It gives all your spells delve, and then you lose life equal to their mana value, but typically if this is on the table, your hand is mostly empty, and it's going to have to be answered before you gain some life. We also have Kishla Skimmer, a 2/2 flyer, always relevant, and then it's also extra card advantage, so when a card leaves your graveyard during your turn, you draw a card, and our deck does a little bit of milling as well. We have Overlord of the Bailmerk, a 5/5 with impending. It will mill you 4 cards and get back any non-avatar creature in your deck, which is basically everything but the Overlord of the Bailmerk. We also have, for milling, we have Nashi, Searcher in the Dark. 2/2 menace. When it connects, you also mill that many cards equal to the power. You can also get enchantments or legendaries back from your hand, any number of them. And then you also, if you whiff, you get a +1/+1 counter on Nashi. Also for milling, we have Wrenn and Realmbreaker. It also has all your lands can add whatever color you want. It makes a 3/3, but also is card advantage because it lets you mill and select a permanent card from the 3 cards to put into your hand. So it can fix your land drops or get you a good creature, and your deck is full of them. Also, we have Shield Red, the power creep. This does good work closing out games just by being really good for 4 mana. Death Touch as well. Top of the curve, we have Harvester of Misery as a 1/of. You can also get it back with your Overlord of the Bailmerk later on in the game for a hard cast. Also has Menace. Who else is in the deck? We have Glissa the Sunslayer, first strike Death Touch, very difficult to attack through this because it blocks so well. Also draws you cards, destroys enchantments, and removes counters from permanents. We also have Carcy Revenant as a 1/of, extra lifelink, flying, and death touch. Just good value all around. And then extra value from the graveyard. And then we have Llanowar Elves, which enables sick plays like turn 1 Llanowar Elves, turn 2 Glissa Sunslayer, turn 3 Shield Red is pretty powerful, or turn 2 Wrenn followed by Shield Red or Glissa. Makes a lot of pressure really quick, and then if it's not answered, you can close out games by casting Ertai in response to their answer on turn 4, and then just close out the game. Ertai Resurrected. Sometimes just enough counterspell is enough. This one is a 3/2 flash. It can counter a spell, activated ability, or triggered ability, or a creature or planeswalker, and as the drawback, your opponent gets to replace it by drawing a card. But if you have Shield Red out, they just lose 2 life anyways, and you're closer to victory. And then also sometimes just the right removal is enough, so we have Anoint with Affliction to exile those creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less. So if someone has a monstrous raid, you just 2-for-1 them with this card. And then also a lot of creatures in Standard will die to this as well. And then if their opponent doesn't have creatures that die to it, you sideboard them out. Magic is easy. Brewing is easy. You play all the rares. The mana base has not changed much. We dropped from 26 to 25 lands, but we have mostly full amount of fast lands and pain lands, and then supplemented with a single forest in case you get hit with that land that blows up lands. 3 cottages for manlands and 1 reef as well for extra threat diversity. That is the main deck that's been doing well. It's been won several straight in a row and keeps winning and drawing good, so we hope to keep up the streak. The sideboard, slight differences in cards here as well. So we have Grim Bauble for those fast, aggressive red decks. So you have a turn 1 removal spell for their turn 1 creature. Always a good plan. And then you have a turn 2 removal with Anoint with Affliction. You can also add into the mix turn 2 removal with Virtue of Persistence, which also gains you life in the process. We also have the Filigree Silex for a lot of greedy decks that rely on tokens from Storm Chaser's Talent or from Simulacrum Synthesizer. Just wipe the board of their blockers and keep going. Good against tokens. We also have Tranquil Feralback, does a lot of work at doing what you want it to do at the time you want it to do it. So it can gain you life, it can exile a graveyard, or you can destroy an artifact or enchantment. And it beats for 3. We also have Terra Sunder, an all around good card as well. It can exile enchantments or artifacts for 2, but it can also exile any other permanent that's not a land for 4. And then we also have Fade from History in the board just to punish those overly aggressive artifact or enchantment heavy decks. So when they have all their stuff on the battlefield, you can wipe them all away, and as a consolation prize they get a bear. And then lastly we have against those decks or control decks, we have Nissa, Ascendant Animist, as a way to just keep putting out big old creature tokens every turn, or keep destroying artifacts or enchantments every turn as well. So there you have it, Sultai Standard Legends. Let me know what you think. I would highly recommend everyone play this deck and win lots of games. Alright, thanks for watching.